Hello, and welcome to Husky Talk. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. I would like to thank our sponsors at Parseghian Partners. You are going to hear from them next. And then we also have Green Street Trust International, owned and operated by Rennell Jump. Rennell Jump and his team offer a variety of services, but they specialize in tax plans for businesses. If you need a tax plan and want to save some money, go to Rennell because he will get you more money in your, he could get you a return, or he will save you money in what you pay. So it's www.greenstreettrust.com to schedule your free tax planning strategy session. I got that right. And now for the man of the hour, Razul Wallace, former Yukon linebacker, and he still looks like he's got a couple series in him. Razul, welcome. I've been trying to get you for a while. I can't believe I got it done.
Oh, thanks for having me, Steve. I think we just been missing each other a little bit.
No, you just ignore me. I know I'm not important enough. I know where I stand. So that's okay. I really loved. I enjoyed playing with you. You kind of hit a little hard, and probably concussed me a few times. But I definitely enjoyed when we went to the New York Dragons tryout. That was fun.
Yeah.
I got to stay at your house down. Yeah. Was it Hempstead? Where did you?
Hicksville, Long Island.
Hicksville. That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I forgot.
So, yeah. So you're doing great right now. Are you still involved with the Husky Investment Group?
I am.
You are, okay. I know it's you. I know Bellamy. I know some of the guys. Mo Lloyd's in it. Fincher, right?
Yep.
Sam was the only one that dropped out, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So the Husky Investment Group. Now, just out of curiosity, how did that kind of come together? Was it just you guys all, looking for something to do, and you said, let's try real estate. Let's try some houses.
It actually started because a few of us were in a group chat, and
I wish I was asked. Nobody asked me.
No, you're more than welcome. I would love to have you in the group chat. You know what? It's funny.
I want to be in the Husky Investment Group. How do you get in the Husky Investment Group?
Actually,
is it a test you have to pass?
It is possible. It's just a small investment. You just got to be.
No, I know.
Husky football player and then a small investment, really.
Yeah. And so it started with a group chat with like you, Fincher, Mo, Sam,
Perk,
then you just kind of decided. Now, is the Husky Investment Group technically a business? Is it like an LLC?
It is an LLC.
Okay. Cool.
LLC, and we've just done 2 projects so far. We did a flip last year, and then we just acquired a multifamily. And we're just taking it step by step.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Now, you also are licensed, correct? You did get your. Yes. When did that happen?
I got my license in the middle of 2022.
Okay.
My personal niche is not specifically to do like sell single family homes. I really just focus on, acquiring investments, helping people get started in real estate, that type of thing.
Oh, so okay, kind of like what Sam's trying to do now. Yeah. Sam's trying to be more of like a consultant and helping people get started and, walking them through the process. I talked with him, and that's why I want to get you on Laban's podcast. Laban Marsh, we do a real estate podcast. Broker, it's called Broker Than You. That's what Laban wanted to call it. And I know nothing about real estate, so it's kind of funny the questions that get asked. He gets a lot of viewers' questions, and then he gets questions from me. So it's kind of funny because I just don't know, and there's so much to it. So it's kind of amazing. Now I know that you grew up in Hicksville, Long Island.
Yeah.
Did you play football early on? Did you play as a youth, like
Yeah.
8, 9 years old?
So I started about 10, and
Okay.
it was because my best friends growing up, Matt and Adam Latchoff. I hung out with them all the time, and we used to play in the street. And they were like, "You should come play." And so I started playing at 10. But at that age, I was always kind of like fast, but I was scared of the contact.
Yeah.
Um, the
Yeah.
first 3 years, I kind of just sat on the bench because even though I could run, I
You
really
you shied away from. I can't even believe that. I can't like picture Razul Wallace shying away from contact.
yeah,
That right there just blows my mind.
yeah.
So you initially did not like hitting.
Initially, I didn't.
Wow. I,
Yeah,
that's funny. That is something I would not have ever believed.
yeah.
Um,
Like I think I was around 13, and I just got tired of being scared already. So then I
well,
just
you also have a huge family, correct?
yeah.
Yeah. And they played as well, right?
No,
No,
I'm
they didn't.
the only one.
You were the only one that played football?
And then my younger brother kind of played
Okay.
after I did. He played also, but outside of that, we didn't really have anyone else in my family that played.
So, I mean, it sounds like you really didn't enjoy football early on, but
Uh,
you played anyway.
yeah,
Um, when do you think you started to like enjoy it, would you say?
probably about when I was 13, and I just got
Okay.
tired of being afraid of hitting, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to
I'm
close my
gonna bring it.
and go as hard as I could, and I knocked someone who was like the best player on the team on his butt, and after that I was like, oh, well, I can do it, and then I
Well, because did you play both ways?
um so my high school I didn't actually, but before
Right.
that I played defense and some running back.
Oh, you had to play some running back
Let's play a little bit.
in like JV and junior high.
Yeah, yep, and youth football, but
Okay.
defense was always my primary.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you are the prototypical Mike linebacker. I mean, that's your thing.
Yeah.
So did you play varsity as a sophomore?
No, no, none of that.
No, you were on JV as a sophomore.
Yeah, so my school it was a very unique situation. It was an all boys Catholic school, and
Yes.
from what I remember, the only time guys would play up is like after if the JV season ended early. Um,
So that makes sense now. That's why you got so many girls in college because you went to an all boys school. There were no girls,
no
so you
girl.
had to make up for it.
I
At
was
UConn.
I never lost.
Yeah, that's okay. Listen, we tell everything on here.
Yeah.
I told a story about how I accidentally took edibles and got high and filled out an application to go to Mars. For some reason, I got an obsession for a mission to Mars, and I started looking for them, and I found one, and I applied to go to Mars.
Word.
And
Yeah, in your spot.
everything was great, but I found out some things that were kind of disturbing. The first is I have no skills. Like if you need to build something, I
Yeah.
can't build anything. I can't help build. I can't help take things apart. I can't contribute anything. So I put like my contribution would be promoter of goodwill. I
Mm.
would just like make everyone happy and laugh and be nice. You gotta be nice. You're in a you're building the space station, so you're kind of confined. So I got to listen. It took me an hour to fill out this application, and at the end of it, there were two things. I found out that number one, there was a weight limit. You had to be 215 pounds or under to qualify because
Yeah.
they the weight on the ship. So I knew, I'd obviously have to get gastric bypass surgery to, get down to 215. I'd look emaciated.
When's the last
Yep.
time you saw 215?
What's that?
When's the last time you saw 215?
The last time I saw 215 was probably my freshman year in high school. Freshman year. Yeah. So that was disturbing. And then the second part was you're going to Mars and you're building the space station, but you're not coming back. You're just staying there. So I read that too. And I'm like, you're going, but you can't come back.
That is
so I signed up. I filled out the application. They're going in 2026. I may get picked still. Who knows? Maybe my application gets picked.
Wow.
Even though I have zero. It was just it kind of hurt me when I was going through, like, I can't change a light bulb. Like I would be useless building a space station. Yeah. And this is like, if you screw up, like somebody blows away and just falls into space and dies. Mm. So that kind of made me nervous, but yeah, so that we tell everything on here. So don't worry about that.
Right.
The women that you got in college is something you should be proud of. The guys brag about it all the time. So you played varsity as a junior and senior?
Yep. I didn't play my junior year because I had a stress fracture.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yep. Only my senior year I got to play varsity.
You missed your entire junior year.
Yeah. Yep.
Were you able to go to any camps between your junior and senior year?
No.
How the hell did you get recruited?
Honestly, so I didn't really know anything about recruiting at all, and
yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
you didn't either, I guess.
Well, I mean, we just sent out tapes. We just made tapes and sent them out. My father got a machine where you could dub them, the blank tape and the game tape, and it would dub it really fast, and then we'd mail it out to places. And then it'd be funny. The schools that didn't like you would just send the tape back. But yeah, that's how we did it. So not having film or anything.
No.
What did you do?
It wasn't even on my radar, to be honest. But my high school coaches were actually like pretty good about it.
Okay.
And they had some relationships with different coaches because from guys getting recruited in the past. And you remember Coach Troop?
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Coach Troop actually went to my
head coach.
He was he went to my high school and he was the D coordinator at UPenn. So I was
getting
interest from like Ivy League schools, and Coach Orlando was with him at UPenn.
What, you got interest from Ivy League schools?
Yeah.
Well, what the hell did you get on your SAT?
I think I got a 1260 or 1240.
Oh my God, Razul's smarter than me. I got like a 980 on my SAT. I got a 1080 on my SAT. You got a 12 something on your SAT?
Yeah, it's funny. Me and Copy got the exact same score. So whatever score she had is what I had.
So you legitimately could have gone to an Ivy League school. You would have qualified because you probably had a high GPA too.
Yeah, so I had. In our school we did it. They did the old school percentages. So I was like, which I guess would have been like a B student in high school.
So you were like a 3.0 B?
Yeah.
With a 1230 SAT.
Yeah.
So you would have barely qualified for an Ivy, but you would have qualified.
Barely. They have
a banding system.
People in that low range.
Yeah.
So they were willing to bring me in there.
Yeah. Because I coached at an Ivy League school. I coached at Dartmouth, and there's low band, mid band, high band, and then like super high band. Yeah. You would have been like low to mid, but it's fine. I mean, it's amazing that I had no idea that you qualified. So Toop was recruiting you to go to Penn.
Yeah.
And so that's how you had a relationship with him.
Yeah.
And then did you say Orlando?
Yep, Coach Orlando was with Toop at Penn.
Okay, I didn't know that. Orlando was at Penn too.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's crazy. So Randy got Toop and Orlando from Penn, and he got Norris and Dave Warner from Bucknell. That's funny that he went to the Patriot League and the Ivy League to get some coaches. So two, in Orlando, obviously. So you must have been a Randy guy. I was actually offered as a late junior by Skip. So Randy must have offered you. It must have been Randy's people that offered you.
Yeah.
So you must have killed it your senior year.
Yeah. I did all right, but I think I don't know stats. Football IQ was never my strength. You know what I mean?
No, it was not. You were not football savvy. You were not definitely were not football intelligent. But you could hit people and tackle.
I could run hit. I could run, hit, and tackle.
Yeah. I know. So they obviously must have recruited you, and did they bring you on an official visit in December or January?
At UPenn, I did my official visit at UPenn.
Oh, you did go to UPenn first.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, wow.
In the midst of that, I guess, is when they switched over.
When they switched, right.
Towards the end of it, I think I took my last visit to Yukon.
So how many visits did you take? Did you take all of them?
Yep. I think.
Oh my God.
I think I went to UPenn, Bucknell, Holy Cross, Columbia, and Yukon.
Oh my God. You went to the Cross too. I coached the Holy Cross.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I had no idea that you had opportunities to go to such high academic schools. That's really impressive. No, I mean, really, I didn't know. Holy Cross, I loved, and I coached there 10 years.
Yeah.
But Worcester's a dump.
Yeah.
Bucknell they just don't win. Penn is very good. Penn would have been a nice spot.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. So what made you what sold you on UConn?
I think
probably because of scholarship, because back then those schools, it was financial aid.
Right.
It was based on your household income, how much money you would have to pay.
Right.
So the full scholarship probably.
Yeah. UPenn put together a pretty good package. But
yeah, they did.
But the full scholarship couldn't be there. And the other thing too is I just wanted to test my mettle. So I wanted to really just compete at the highest level I could.
That's how I was too.
Yeah. So
that's how I was, dude. I was offered at Northeastern, Maine, New Hampshire, UMass, Buffalo, and the only other Rutgers. They were the only 1A schools. But I wanted to I committed to UConn without even visiting, without even seeing it. I just said they're going to be going 1A, Big East. I'm in. I didn't. I committed before we visited.
In Northeastern have some. They comparably. I think. What made you just say UConn over
Well, because when I was told UConn was going 1A,
yeah,
we were going to the Big East. That's the whole reason I took it. If it had zero to do with the school, I didn't care what it looked like. I never visited. I wanted to play at the highest level.
Yeah.
So when I heard that they were going to 1A, that was it. I was like, okay, I'm going to UConn.
Yeah.
And this was when, I don't know if you remember, the Patriots were flirting with building the stadium in Hartford and moving. And then
stadium or something like that.
What's that?
We were supposed to be sharing the stadium.
Yes, we were going to share it with them. Yes, but it turned out Bob Kraft was just using it for leverage to get what he wanted. So he got the stadium built in Gillette, but we still were going 1A. Sorry, my throat's dry. So what was interesting is Mr. Perkins, he was the best, the athletic director. he got a waiver from the NCAA because, you had to have a stadium that held 30,000 people or more to be 1A. And we did not. Ours was 16,000.
Right.
So we got a waiver until we got our stadium built. So we could play 1A. And then they got the money, and I believe they broke ground in 2001. But it was amazing, like how they did it. And Razul, like I talked to, I know you probably don't watch my Husky Talks, but you should. But you do. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I did it with some of the older guys, like Wilbur Gilliard, Robert Belcourt, guys that played in like the early and mid 90s. And they were being told then that, hey, by your sophomore year, we're going to be in the Big East.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was. I had no idea that it started back then.
Yeah.
And do you know what prevented it from happening?
What?
It was the people who lived in stores. They did not want the traffic on I-195.
Really?
Yeah, they were worried. That's why we never got the stadium on campus, because they didn't want traffic on 195.
Wow.
It was ridiculous. They fought it and fought it and fought it and fought it, and it was such bullshit. So that's why it got built in East Hartford.
How do they deal with the traffic? Because Gamble must create some traffic.
That's what I said. But, Gamble, you're talking 10,000 people. Us, we would have been talking 40,000 people.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why they poo-pooed it. But credit to, I had Randy Edsel on, Coach Edsel, last year. And if you look at it, what he did as a first-time head coach was absolutely remarkable. In his first 5 years, he was able to get a stadium built. He got us to 1A in the Big East, and then he got the first indoor football complex ever in the Northeast. Yukon was the only one that had that. So Coach Edsel, he fundraised, he knew what he wanted, and, that's why he was the groundwork that built the program. I wanted to do like a podcast special about it and talk, because, I feel that he's kind of been, forgotten, and there's a sour taste in people's mouth after the second time he left. But I mean, he really was the architect that built our program. I give him all the credit in the world. So you go to Yukon. Who hosted you on your visit?
Jamar.
Oh, you had Jamar. All right. Love Jamar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jamar showed me around, had a good time.
You had a good time? And so when did you commit?
I mean, probably right away. I probably knew before we got there that I was going to go.
You did? Okay. So you committed like on the spot.
Pretty much.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What would you say like made you commit? Was it just because it was the highest level?
I think it was the fact that it was a scholarship and the highest level.
The scholarship and the highest level. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we endured the worst experience I've ever had in my life, which was freshman practice when we got there. Now, I come to find out, I've talked to other people. Nobody else did this.
Really?
It just seemed to be like a Randy thing, and it got banned after us.
You mean like freshman camp?
Yeah, the freshman camp we did.
Nobody
else did that.
Are you sure? I thought other schools did it, but just we were like the last after like our years, like all schools just did away with it. But I thought it was a more
they all did away with it, but not everyone did it like we did. It was more of like a walkthrough. It wasn't like a full pads like practice.
That was
like we got like I'll never forget it. Like those were like the four. I think we had 2 double sessions, and they were the hardest in my life.
Yeah,
And
no.
because in between we had to do orientation, if
Yeah.
you recall.
Mm.
I remember I couldn't walk
They were
because
grueling.
logistically it was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
Because you had to walk everywhere, and the stadium's up here, and you got to go here, and I just remember being so sore. Now, my greatest memory is, Razul, after the first practice of the freshman practice, we had 5 offensive linemen. Okay, one of them we go to lunch with. The guy's name is Chris Johnson. We go to lunch with him. We come back. We go and we get dressed for practice. There's a note in his locker saying that he quit. He's done. He can't do this. He quit after the first practice. It was hilarious. And then, of course, I'm sure you remember the Ballad of Eric Hiltz. You remember Eric Hiltz?
I remember Eric Hiltz.
Eric Hiltz was my roommate, Razul. You want to know what Eric Hiltz did his first night when we roomed together?
What did he do?
Okay. We had to get up in the morning and get piss tested and whatever. And everyone was uncomfortable and upset. I mean, I cried when I got dropped off. My father was upset. We all were kind of homesick. But so the first night I get into bed to sleep. Hiltz is just sitting there like this. And I go, hey, man, you want to go to bed? He's like, well, you can turn the lights out. I'll go to bed soon. Alarm goes off at 5 a.m. He's in the same position. I go, dude, did you sleep? He's like, no. I'm like, well, why? It's like, I just kept thinking maybe if I bang my knee hard enough against the dresser, I'll hurt myself and then I won't have to practice. And then, I'm not a psychologist. I don't know what to say to that. What am I supposed to say to that? I'm like, oh, well, okay. I'm going to go get drug tested now. I guess let's go. Mm-hmm. So, we had the Ballad of Eric Hiltz. The freshman camp was absolutely brutal. Mm-hmm. Who was in your group? Was it just you? Was it you and Jamal?
It was actually because Jamal was a safety.
Oh, that's right. He was back.
He was a part of the defense, but it was me, Uwe, Mike McIntosh, Greg Smoot.
That's right. Smoot started as a linebacker, and then they moved him down.
Then they moved him to D-line.
That's right. And then we went to the Berkshires. Mm-hmm. I kind of like the Berkshires. Now everyone kind of hates on the Berkshires. I liked it. I liked the food. It was cooler. We're out in the country. Were you a fan of the Berkshires or no?
It was cool, like scenery wise, but
I liked the food. The food was good.
The food was good. I just, just all like football 24/7 was a lot. I think that was my.
Oh, it was. It was madness. It was madness.
7 nonstop. I could not wait to get on that bus and go back to campus.
Well, you would practice, then you would meet and talk about practice.
Yeah.
Then you'd meet and talk about the practice that's upcoming.
Yeah.
You'd practice, and then you'd meet and you'd review practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just nonstop.
And you're sore the whole time. The soreness doesn't let up.
Oh yeah, you never get your legs back. What was interesting is Randy went to the model. I think it was after like the first few days because guys just couldn't do it. He went to the model of doubles. Then the next day was a walkthrough and then a double. Doubles, then a walkthrough and a double. He kind of switched the schedule up, which was new at the time. And now that's really how everyone practices. Nobody does 2-a-days anymore. Like when I coached at Holy Cross, it was same thing. It was a walkthrough and then a practice.
Yeah.
I think we did maybe 2 double sessions the whole time.
Yeah.
So they took care of us. But you had what I thought was interesting. You really contributed as a freshman. Like you came in and you established yourself early on. And I remember we ran a trap and I had to head and shoulder fake the defensive end and I had to go block you. And I believe you depleted me. That's just what you did. Like you just annihilated everyone. And you were playing. Were you playing the mic at the time?
I think I was playing Will at first, and then I got.
Okay, so you were at Will. They had Uwe at the Sand, didn't they?
Oh, Uwe was the Sam.
Okay, and Jamar was the mic.
And Jim started. I mean, I was playing, but I was really more backup. I think to Stro at Will.
Oh, it's Kamari Stroman. Okay.
Yep. And then
But you eventually took over.
I did eventually take over towards the end of freshman year. I did.
Because I know you started and you had a very good freshman year.
Yeah.
Because like overall our freshman class was not great. we had
guys.
I mean, the guys that played. I mean, it was really you. It was Belial. You know, it was Jamal.
Yeah.
It was Smoot and myself. And Big O played a little bit.
Uwe and Tommy.
Oh, that's right. Uwe and Tommy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, he had to put together patchwork that class because there were a lot of kids that he ended up getting rid of, which was funny.
Yeah.
And then it was disappointing because that freshman year they had some talent. We probably could have won, but I know Randy was looking towards the future. Yeah. He wanted to redshirt guys, which he couldn't because we had depth issues everywhere.
Yeah,
and but it ended up being a good thing because freshmen got experience.
Yeah,
you got a lot of experience as a freshman.
I did. I want to ask you, did you notice, or how did you feel like your first play from scrimmage in college?
Razul, for 2 weeks I didn't touch anyone. I was playing against Rob Long, the defensive end.
Yeah,
and I couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
like I couldn't get in his way. Like it was abysmal.
Yeah,
it was such a speed difference, technique difference.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget after the first practice, that Chris Johnson kid quit.
Yeah.
Eric Hilt was on the phone. He was talking about quitting. And then I was on the phone to go next. And I have no idea how this happened, but it's a hilarious story. It was Ed and Jay Chuck and I. And I look at Ed. I don't know Ed.
Yeah.
I go, Ed, what are you doing? I'm going to do what you're going to do. Are we staying? Or are we going? He goes, full scholarship, man. I'm staying. So I called home and I said, I first said it was tough. I remember my dad said, you know what? If it's bad, you can come home. We'll go to SUNY Albany or something, and you can play there. And I said, no, I'm going to stick it out. And the whole reason I did it was because of fucking Ed. Because Ed said, we're going to do it. So the other thing that happened my freshman year, I don't know if you remember, Eric Hiltz. Okay. Mm-hmm. Eric Hiltz quits the football team. Eric Hiltz was my roommate. Okay. So those Friday morning workouts for the guys that didn't play were peer torture. Mike Golden just brutalized them. And Hiltz would just get, they'd have him leg pressing 1,000 pounds, and Ed would squat and whatever. The two funniest stories were they had to go out and run stadiums, but the thing was they put 365 on the squat rack. If Ed squatted it once, then they were done. No running. If he didn't get it, they were going to run. So Ed gets. I wasn't there. I just a secondhand. They all told me. Yeah. Ed gets in there. He's and everyone's cheering on. Let's go, Ed! You got this, Ed! You got it! You got it! You got it! So he gets it. He gets back. He goes and then he goes down, and then he just goes down. He crumbles. And Golden goes, "Let us out to the stadium. Let's go." He set them all out.
He had a hard on for Ed, didn't he? Didn't he like messing with Ed?
Oh yeah, he hated Ed because Ed had an air conditioner in his room.
Yeah.
So it drove Golden nuts. Ed got a note from his doctor saying he had asthma, so he could get an air conditioner in his room. It was the smartest thing he ever did.
Yeah.
So he hated Ed for that.
Yeah.
Hiltz, okay. When we would go away on road trips, Hiltz would stay. Hiltz was like really homesick. He was a homebody, so he would have like friends come up and stay.
What was he?
He was a Mass guy. He was from Mass. He was close. Yeah. So it was homecoming. He had a friend come up. We were playing Villanova, and okay, I happened to go out. I went out with Antonio Grant, Smoot, and a couple guys. We get fake IDs. We go to the pub. I get absolutely bombed. I'm shit faced.
Yeah.
I come back to the room. The kid is sleeping on the floor. I'm on the lower bunk. Hiltz is on the top. I get in the bed. 2 minutes later, I throw up. I throw up all over the kid.
You throw up on him?
All over him. I just hurled on him. Yeah. Hurled on him. Fucking Hiltz goes nuts. The kid goes nuts. My puke's everywhere. So I go and, we try to clean it up as best we can. I think we threw the comforter out. The kid ended up, I think, sleeping in Hiltz's bed or whatever. So the next day in meetings, because we had just lost to Villanova in overtime, I believe, Hiltz is falling asleep in the meetings, and you can watch it. His eyes are going. They're going. And then they finally go. And he's out. And Norris noticed. Norris caught him. Norris gets up from his chair, and he gets right in his face. Doesn't say a word, just gets right in his face. 2 minutes later, Hiltz looks up, and there's this giant black man staring at him. He goes like this. And Norris is like, "What the fuck? Why are you sleeping in our fucking meeting? This is fucking bullshit." And he goes, "Fucking, it was Cully's fault. Cully threw up. He got drunk and puked, and it smelled bad, and I couldn't sleep." So I thought I was going to get read the riot act. I thought I was fucked. It turned out Norris was, I had a 6 a.m. workout or whatever, but the veterans were pissed at Hiltz.
Yeah.
They're like, you don't rat out your roommate. Like, why would you rat him out?
Right.
So now Hiltz is like, everyone hates me. Now I have to leave. So he calls his parents. We were in the room, 724 half. Calls his parents. Says, I'm quitting. I'm done. And they're trying to talk him out of it. And I'm trying to talk him out of it. I get Tommy. Tommy comes in. Tommy's like trying to talk him out of it. He's like, "Hey, man, just stay here. We'll get through this together. We're on your side. We forgive you. We know all this." I bring Ed in. Worst decision I could have made. I say, Ed, Hiltz is going to quit. We got to talk him out of it. Okay. Ed walks in.
Yeah.
It's like, "Hey, so I hear you want to quit." And Hiltz is like, "Yeah, I can't do this anymore." I was like, "Oh, well, all right, good luck." That's it. That's what he did.
That's hilarious.
And Hiltz's line to his parents was, "You can either come pick me up. I'm either leaving with you in the car, or I'm leaving in an ambulance because I'm jumping out the window of 724."
Damn. That's what he said?
Swear to God, I'll never forget it.
Damn.
Word for word. So his parents came and picked him up, and I had.
That's intense.
Yeah, that was intense. But I mean, he really, honest to God, he shouldn't have been there. He wasn't a scholarship lineman. He was 240 pounds. Yeah. He wasn't going to put on weight. He tried really hard. He just wasn't good. Yeah. And he was a late scholarship guy.
Yeah.
So you played phenomenal your sophomore year. You know, our sophomore year was our 1A year. You know, we go to Eastern Michigan. Jamal laid out Deion Branch at Louisville, BC.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have any fond memories from that year? Anything that sticks out?
Oh, a lot of fond memories. I think I was
because I mean, they moved Jamar to D end,
yep.
And I believe you were the starting Mike.
And I went to Mike, and it was it was that was actually probably my best year. I think, to be honest, like my junior year, I think I was like, I had like heartbreak, and that really.
Well, because I know the junior year is they had Fincher and they put Fincher in.
Well, I think it was really my senior year they put Fincher in, but my junior year I was ready, but I was really kind of like, I didn't even realize it, but looking back, I think I had like a mild depression kind of my junior year.
A lot of us did.
Yeah,
I did too. Yeah. I did too. I got my junior year. I got moved to guard, and I started, and then I got pulled, and I definitely went through depression, and that's what Bellamy. If you ever watch our show, it's called A Husky's Health. We talk about the depression and anxiety and stress that college football players feel, but all of us push through it. You know, we never ask for help. We always think we can get through it ourselves. Yeah. And he said he experienced it too.
Yeah.
And junior year for me was depressing mostly because I was super close with Ryan Tracy.
Oh yeah.
I had Ryan Tracy up to my house. Yeah. I had Ryan Tracy. I used to go fishing with him, and then he disappears in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And then it's like our season's fucked.
Yeah. Do you hear from Ryan Tracy?
Yeah. He ended up playing arena ball for a little while, and then he became a teacher out in California.
I could see him as a teacher.
You remember him? Yeah, he was very inquisitive. I use a big word. Is that a kid?
Yeah, this is my baby. She's getting ready to go to school.
Oh my God! How many are there?
There's 5 in our house. I got my 3 older boys with coffee.
Jesus Christmas, 5?
My girl has one from a previous relationship, and we have my sweet sugar together.
Is that Kathy?
Kathy is who my 3 older boys are with.
Okay. Yeah, I heard they're great wrestlers.
They are. Yeah. And great kids.
Okay. Hi. Yeah, she is cute. I like that hat. You like being on a podcast? You're on a podcast. You're going to be seen by millions of people. Yes. Yes, you are. So what do you think the struggle was your junior year? Because I mean, were you were playing, right?
I was playing, but
you weren't playing well.
I wasn't playing well, but it was like I don't know if you remember Sarah, but I think that was like the first like real girlfriend I'd had. And I do. Up, like that heartbreak really just kind of.
Yeah, it carries over. It's tough to separate. It really is. I've been there when your relationship falls into your professional life, which was football. So between the breakup with Sarah and then football, I mean, it was a struggle for you your junior year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then your senior year, I know Fincher came in, and that's when you kind of rotated with him.
Yeah, not so much. I was really more on the bench.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was just again, it was not your physical talents. I mean, you had the body of a Greek god, and you could read and you can hit. It was just schematically, it was a little bit more difficult with the coverages and your responsibilities. So that's why. But I mean, you must have started 30 games plus.
Did I?
I think you did. I'm pretty sure you're a 30 plus game starter
I don't
because
know.
you played as a freshman, you played as a sophomore, you played as a junior,
Yeah.
and you rotated in as a senior.
Yeah.
So you must have gotten 30. Um,
Yeah.
were you? I mean, our senior year was just unbelievable. I remember being 2-6, and the rally started with Kent State and Florida Atlantic, and then we shut out Navy at Navy, and then Iowa State. Um, and to me, it just seemed like finally, like all the work we did, like it paid off.
Yeah.
It paid off. We beat a Big 12 team that was ranked, that was going to a bowl game, and we beat the hell out of them. And I thought at that time, Razul, we were playing so well, we could have beaten anyone.
Yeah.
If we had gone to a bowl game or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, your experience overall. I mean, would you say you were happy with it?
I
Like
love it.
you loved it.
I did.
You loved the campus. You loved the atmosphere.
Yeah.
You loved being on the team.
Oh yeah. I loved every bit of it, except that freshman camp was terrible.
That freshman camp was the worst thing I ever experienced. I tell everyone that.
You know what other thing? I'd asked you about your first play from scrimmage. I got
killed. I didn't touch it.
My first play from scrimmage in college was we were all together with the upper class
team. Yeah,
I didn't even move. I couldn't. I couldn't distinguish. Everything was flying by my face so fast.
Yeah, the speed. You didn't know where to go.
Anyone, and I remember at that time I was like, damn, I think I'm out of my league here, because it.
It was such an adjustment.
Such an adjustment. Coach Orlando runs onto the field. He's screaming, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Well, like you and myself, New York State football is not very good. Yeah.
So it's quite an adjustment.
It is.
Ed, if you ever watch his high school highlight tape, was the greatest thing in the world.
Oh,
he played against midgets for 3 years.
It was good. Yeah.
He was basically tossing midgets. The only guy who really had a pedigree coming out was Tommy. Yeah. Tommy played at the Bull School in Florida, and then he transferred out. And he was a true talent who could have gone somewhere.
Yeah.
Jamal was the kind of similar, where he was a hitter, but he just didn't have the speed to be a safety to cover ground.
Yeah.
Big O rotated in and he played here and there.
Yeah.
And Uwe was really the star. I mean, Uwe was the guy who was a freak.
He was a freak.
But I always said, you and Uwe, I was petrified to shower because of you and Uwe. Because I didn't shower the first week, and the guys caught me and they told me, like, dude, you got to shower. I would go back to the dorm in the Berkshire and shower because I was afraid to walk in because you guys were packing heat. And I was like, I was terrified. And I look at you and Uwe, and there's just anacondas everywhere. Like, where do I go? So I finally did, and I had to show what I had, and it's just it's so emasculating to not measure up.
I don't remember being that much of a difference.
Oh, it was a big difference. Like if I if I had what you had, I'd walk around naked all the time. I'd throw it in everyone's face. I'd say, look at this. And, Terry's description was a Pringles can. He said it was a Pringles can. Yeah. So, I mean, if I had that, I would be naked all the time. And I always say, I'm going to save my money. And I'm going to go to New York, $30,000. I'm going to get the surgery, the John Wayne Bobbitt surgery, where they make it bigger. I'm going to get a monster. I'm going to get like a 12-incher.
Can you make it work, though, when they do that? How does that
work? Yeah. John Wayne Bobbitt, I mean, he had some complications, but they got it right. And he had a hog for a while. Okay. So that's kind of my goal. Yeah. But we finished our careers. I thought it was nice that Coach Edsel gave us all the MVP awards. Yeah. Because we really put our blood, sweat, and tears into that program.
We did.
And we were the foundation. I really believe we were.
Yeah.
Even Rashad came in with us too.
Okay, that's right. He transferred. He
transferred from Wisconsin. Yeah.
I remember he.
And then I'm trying to remember. Like afterwards, I went and played arena ball. I played for the Albany team.
Yeah.
I can't remember if you played right away or you went later, because I know I went to the Dragons workout with you.
I didn't really end up playing. I went to a couple tryouts and
yes,
we did the tryouts, but
for arena, but it just wasn't a fit.
Materialize into anything though.
Yeah, and then I ended up going to NFL Europe. So what did you end up doing career wise to start? I didn't know.
I was doing like personal training for a while, and then
you were okay.
I did personal training, and then Coffee got pregnant, and I moved back to Connecticut from New York, and then I was.
You weren't in Connecticut.
No, so I moved back to New York for a couple years.
Oh, okay, all right, and then
back and forth between Connecticut and New York.
Was the pregnancy like did something you wanted, or was it like kind of a surprise?
It was not planned. It was a surprise.
So you kind of slipped one through. That's good.
Yeah. I guess.
And so was that the boy?
That's my three sons. Kids are three boys.
And they're older now. How old are they?
This year they turned 19, 17, and 11.
Yeah. I'm blown away. And now, is it coffee or Caffey? Caffey. Okay. She said that they all were tremendous wrestlers.
Man,
did you get them into wrestling?
I just wanted them to play a sport, just because I knew how good sports are.
Yes.
I tried them in football. I think they just didn't like the cold, and I think they liked wrestling because it was indoors. But to me, wrestling is grueling, and
it's tough. It's the toughest thing ever.
Yeah, but they stuck with it, and they became like.
So you said a 13, a 17, and a 19-year-old.
Yep, 19, 17, and 11 this year.
19, 17, 11. Okay, and I think she said the 11-year-old may be the best one.
Well, he's the most aggressive, and I think he's going to be the biggest one.
And do you actually work with them? Do you train them?
Well, we work out together, and I understand body positioning from football,
right? Leverage,
right? But not to the technical depth of wrestling. So I give them the best of what I can give them,
right?
I figure out if there's ways that we can get like more. Like better insights and stuff like that. So
do they get any like personal training, or do they just do it on their own?
The physical part is just stuff that we've just worked out together for years. Like
okay. Then they get coached by the team, right?
By teams or like different people.
Or are they on any club teams? Is there club teams for this?
There's a club team.
Okay, so they do both. Yeah. And they have performed well. Like
yeah.
Have they gone the 19 and the 17 Did they go to the States at all? Did they make it that far?
So my
Oh
oldest
my God,
son,
really?
he won a double L state champion.
Oh my God.
My second son, I definitely see that for him too. He's like more ambitious. He like trains more. So I think a state open.
And what weight class?
He's at 165 right now.
Okay.
He's a junior, so he has one more year, but he's very motivated.
Good.
He's
good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Does he play anything else?
They might run track. So that's the thing, like,
because track's perfect for him. Just throw. Let him throw.
Well, they're faster than I was. When I see them run, I'm like,
"Oh, are you serious?"
Yeah, they probably. I'm guessing they.
Because Kathy can run too.
Yeah.
So I mean, you guys were good for breeding. I mean, you bred some monsters.
If I didn't want to force him, but he played football He started the season football one year, and his high school coach was like, "I think he can lead the state in sacks." My oldest son, but he hated it. And I was like, and he would come home every day. So I was like, because everyone was like, "You sure?"
How long did he practice for with the team?
He played like the first week or two, and
it wasn't for him.
1 year JV, which was kind of him just getting a feel for it, and then he came back junior year in the beginning of the year, and I think he had a better feel for it. He just was not into it at all.
Was he playing defensive end?
The end, because he didn't have the kind of knowledge, but size, strength, and speed, that was the perfect place, because it's not as, I guess, technical. There's not as many.
No, it's not. You're pass rushing. Yeah, I get it. So he didn't like it, but he did fall in love with wrestling, and he won the double L state championship.
He did.
That's amazing. And then what did he do afterwards? Did he go to school? Does he go to school now?
He's not interested in school at all.
Good. It's a waste.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to force it. So right now he helps me with some stuff sometimes.
Good. That's awesome.
He's getting his EMT because he wants to do firefighting.
Good. Yeah, because college right now, with how expensive tuition is, I mean, unless you're going to go to an Ivy League school, it's really a waste. I mean, if you asked me that like 10 years ago, I would have said that's awful. He should be going to college.
Yeah.
But from what I know now, after being a college coach and seeing everything, and like just what a business college is, it's just ridiculous. And now with the NIL stuff, it's just out of control. So did you get married to Kathy?
We were married, yeah.
For how many years?
We were together for a total of about 11 years.
I didn't get invited to the wedding, so that's disappointing. Where'd you?
We had we got married in our living room. The only people.
Okay.
Our parents and our siblings.
How did you propose? Was it romantic?
So it's funny because, afterwards she was like, that's not even the type of proposal I would have wanted. But so it tells you but basically I was graduating from the police academy, and at the graduation, I kind of, proposed at the graduation for the police academy.
Oh, okay. I see that. And then now she ends up being the first firefighter, female firefighter in Norwich, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did she do that before or after you guys separated?
After.
Oh, she did it after. Okay. Yeah. Just talk to me a little bit about marriage. Is marriage is it not what you expect? Did you live together before you got married?
Yeah.
You did. Okay. And you had already had kids, right?
Yeah. So we had two sons, and we had already purchased our first house together. It was a multi.
Wow. And were you doing real estate at the time?
I wanted to, but
you were training.
I think I had tried like a few different business ventures, and I think at that point she just had little faith in my ability to kind of.
She had little faith in your ability.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's tough. I mean, that's the one thing Laban will tell you. when we do our show Thursday, the market is just so cyclical that it's very difficult to manage. And Newsy we talked to as well. Do you talk to Newsy?
Yes, we did a talk at Yukon with real estate professionals, and I got a chance to catch up with Newsy there.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and so we did get to catch up. It is, I think, me personally, especially if you buy well or you buy right, it actually can help you to navigate up and down market.
Yeah. Right.
Because one of the biggest variables could be like the interest rates. So if you're with a 2 to 4 unit space, you can kind of lock into a long-term more interest rate.
That's what you want. Correct.
When you're in the commercial, they tend to be more.
That's exactly what Laban said.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. This is going to be great when you talk with them.
Yeah.
So right now, was the test hard to pass?
It wasn't too. If you're taking it, I would take it as soon after you take the course as possible, because you got to take the course.
Yeah. So you took a course and then you did the test.
I think you're required to take a course before you can take the test. And I just didn't want to at Three Rivers here in Norwich.
And so your marriage was good for a while, and then it just kind of went downhill.
I think, to be honest, me and Copy are actually really good friends now.
You are. That's what she said. She said you're great friends now.
We have a great relationship. We live about.
You're very good co-parenting. She said.
Very good. We have a great relationship. We're good. We're good friends. She actually had us over for Christmas.
Yeah, you get along great. It's funny how marriage screws up everything.
Yeah.
And then when you're not married, you're much better off.
Yeah. Well,
that's why I say marriage is a failed institution.
I kind of agree with that, but also me,
I had everything.
Personal stuff too, where where I had a hard time being with one woman essentially.
Well, everyone does. Yeah. Everyone does. That's not. It's human nature. It's human nature.
Yeah.
No guy is going to be satisfied for the next 40 years with one vagina. It's just, what you're going to get.
Well, I'll say this. I think, and this is kind of part of my personal spiritual journey, is that
an open marriage maybe can work, but the one vagina, 40 years. It's that's it. That's what you're getting. There's no surprises.
Yeah,
you can't dress it up. It is what it is.
Dress it up a little bit. Put some.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with you. The Pringles can. It's coming.
Yeah.
There's nothing else you can do. This is what you're getting. Yeah. And it's the same thing over and over. And it's very difficult to spice it up and make it satisfying for both people.
It is.
Right? Yeah.
It can be. It can be. And then the other thing too is I think that there is I think we also were good friends, and we were very attracted to each other.
You were. Yeah.
I think we have a foundationally different beliefs and
foundationally religious.
I would say she's Copy is pretty conventional, and I
what do you mean conservative or
traditional, and just her thinking
okay.
She is a very traditional thought process, whereas I would say I'm probably very unconventional and very.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
But I am too. I'm very unconventional.
No, you are. You are.
I'm as weird as they get.
We always get along. That's why we've always gotten along, because we both.
So, I'm just out of curiosity, what led? Oh, you have to get going. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to keep you. It was just we were having a great conversation.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it. I'm glad that we'll get to talk some more later this week.
No, we will. We will. Listen, no, it's good that you guys are good friends. You're raising your kids. They're all doing well. Yeah. It's great that they're doing wrestling. I loved you. I loved playing with you. I loved hanging out with you. We had a ball together.
We did. We did.
I miss you. I'm definitely
coming back to Connecticut anytime soon.
I'm gonna try to get up and see you guys. Yeah, because we're actually working now. Our podcast network. We're going to be working for the C Club.
Okay.
And Kevin Freeman. Yeah, we're going to try to help get people. Did you sign up for the C Club yet?
I have not yet.
I'm going to send you the goddamn link. You better sign up.
I'm going to sign up.
We got to get people signed up. That's part of our job. We're going to help raise donations because we have great content. If you ever look at it, Coach Schumann's Sports and Entertainment YouTube channel. That's what all my content's on. And I put it on my Facebook as well and LinkedIn. But his YouTube channel has 1.2 million subscribers.
Damn.
And he gets 70 million views per month.
Wow.
And like this show is great because we're talking about Pringles cans and locker rooms and all that. I'm going to do a bunch of reels. Yeah. Those are going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm going to put reels up and our show's going to be great. But so are you're going to a meeting to sell a house or buy a house or
actually to buy one? I'm looking at one. A young kid.
Well, listen, I have a tax guy for you.
Yep.
That I want you to talk to. Rennell is amazing.
I gotta talk to Ro. It's a biggie.
He will save you, like he saved people thousands of dollars, and he's gotten people returns. So with your investment group, you're an LLC.
Yeah,
he could get you a return. So is it all right if I have him call you?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I will do that, and then I will talk with you. We're going to talk with Laban Tuesday. We're going to do a little more real estate. But Razul, this was a ball, man. This was a fun show. It's very tough to make a black man blush, but I got you to blush a few times.
You did.
I got you to blush a few times.
In my seat a little bit.
But no, listen, I am very happy for you. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for your kids and your family, and I'm happy you're doing so well. I really am. You deserve it. You've worked hard. So I will say for Razul Wallace, former Yukon linebacker, and now real estate mogul, part of the Husky Investment Group. We also have our two sponsors, Dynamic Human Performance, owned by Andre Dixon. You will hear from them. We will have Julius Trenches of the Trench Mob. They are in Georgia. You will hear from them. And then we are going to have Pete Finch and the Finch Law Firm. In a pinch, call Finch. You're going to hear from Pete. And now I will say, again, for Razul, I'm Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges and throw them back at life.